see a lot of women's discussions about HIV. Growing up, that talk is reserved for boys. And also, HIV and AIDS is usually talked about as if it was a disease for gay men. However, the reality is that anyone can get infected. Joining us now for a Dear Sisters Let's Talk About Sexual Health discussion is Tammy Ayala. She's an intensive case manager with EPIC, our Empath Partners in Care. Welcome to Bloom, Tammy.
Thank you.
It's so true. I don't know why it does seem taboo to talk about sexual health with girls. I'm not of that philosophy. I have a daughter. You have 3.
Yes.
I talk to my daughter about sexual health. What do you think mothers should say to their daughters about the subject?
You know, that's a very sensitive subject. Every parent wants to raise their child in a different manner. Some want to practice abstinence and teach that, and then some wants to be open with their children. I think it's specific to each parent. Certainly they need to have that talk. If they need help, they can certainly call our agency. We have a mental health specialist there, a counselor who can give support in that area depending on what the needs are for that particular parent. But I think it's a very important conversation to have with children, depending how mature that child is, or your young teen. I think is extremely important, especially the risks of if they become intimate and having that knowledge of what they're about to enter into with the right partner. And the commitment, not just because of STIs, but also because the emotional effect of having an intimate relationship with someone, especially for females, because we go off of our emotions.
Could not agree more. We're 100% on the same page there. When you do have the conversation, HIV is one of the topics that you say we should address. I feel like I never hear anybody talk about HIV anymore. Why is that?
This is funny. I was speaking with someone about this just recently, and it does seem like because we've advanced so much with the treatment of HIV, it's not curable, but we've gotten to the point where we can suppress the virus, and anyone diagnosed with HIV can live a very long, full life. So I don't think it has the same discussion as it did as the early 80s, but so it's not really spoken about. I think because we've done so much good in the advancement of HIV, that we maybe forgotten that it still exists.
Yeah, one of those advancements is something called the PrEP pill. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so the PrEP pill is for male and females, and if you feel like you're at risk of catching HIV, whether it's your profession, you can take this pill, and it will help you. I don't want to say immune, but it will help prevent you from catching HIV if you feel like that you have a high risk of catching it.
I had no idea that existed.
Yes, it's actually a great pill. Again, a lot of info online on it, and at the EPIC site, myepic.com.org. We'll have that information as well.
Myepic.org. And is it something that both men and women can take?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a daily pill, so you have to be consistent with it.
Sure.
Same thing with the HIV medication. In order to maintain that virus suppressed, you want to make sure you're consistent in taking that medication.
Well, like you take a birth control pill.
Absolutely,
you would have to take this pill. Is HIV very prevalent in women?
Yes. Well, out of all the diagnoses here in Florida, about 19% of those diagnoses are females. So we do, education and for females, depending, again, your profession might make you more at risk for that. So we at EPIC have a program for females that are pregnant to talk about and help guide them in what prenatal care they might need to, not transmit the infection to your child.
It's preventable then? Pregnant women don't necessarily transmit the virus?
It doesn't necessarily transmit, but that's something they need to work with their doctors as far as medication and how early on they've gotten that prenatal care. So that's something I definitely want to speak to your doctor if you're expecting a child.
Tammy Ayala, great information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good having you here. And for more information, as Tammy mentioned, you can visit myepic.org.